Hey y'all, it's Dalanie.
And it's Katie, and this is Classically Black Podcast.
Where we talk all things classical music and being black in the profession.
With trap beats playing in the background.
Free at last. Free at last. Dang, I thought you was going to at least save it for the topic.
I think when did we read Bel Canto? That was last summer?
That was the second one. That was the summer before last.
I think we 1 and 4.
The last one that we did, the one that we did last year, that we're talking about the book that we did for book club that we did last year, the book was just below our level. It was middle grade, which I didn't realize. And it seemed so perfect because it was, about music, black protagonist, black author. It was just like, it would be fine for a fourth grader, like it would be fine. It just wasn't. And the whole written in verse thing
I just thought it was to me, so. It was one of them things that seemed like it was not. No, I haven't written a book, but Loki she didn't either because it could have been no shade, but that could have been a quarter of the length.
Oh yeah, there you go right there.
So it's like I feel like the only book I truly enjoyed was Bel Canto.
Bel Canto was tea.
Bel Canto was so good. I mean, I did make fun of the characters because, girl, your life is ending and y'all hunching. Like.
And Bel Canto was on the New York Times list of 100 best books or whatever.
Yeah,
Bel Canto was tea.
It was tea. I liked making fun of. Once I realized that you also hated the book, the first one we did, then I'll never forget the feeling I felt before we recorded. I don't even want to speak his name. It's kind of like Voldemort. We don't even display it because for what?
Because
that's insane. Y'all should not buy it.
Because we have every book that I took Bel Canto because I needed it for a video. I'm gonna put it back. But we usually have every book that we've done for book club except for that one because I just don't feel comfortable promoting that. I'm sorry, I just done something about that. Everything about that book.
And I feel that episode has a 1 star or something like that. And I feel like he had to be the one because how you come over here? Where you even find us at? No, that book is so terrible. He should be ashamed of himself. I'm so glad that guy intervened because remember we was gonna reach out for an interview before we finished, and I'm so glad that we did not do that before we finished the book because the only question I have is how could you and why?
How dare you? I hope things are going better over there. I hope that there's been an improvement, a massive one.
And sometimes, how do I say this? You can always there's a black woman somewhere that did him wrong, and you could tell in his writing. I don't know if it was Lil Shirley on the playground. I don't know if
it's your mom.
Was your mom. I don't know if Hannah rejected you in the 7th grade. Some black woman somewhere did something to that man. You can always tell. I wrote this script. I'm not gonna say the topic just in case. But I wrote this script that featured a black people starting their own society, and I put it up in my writing group. And one of the people I literally have never seen this man before in my life. Apparently, he's an instructor at a school out here. I'm not gonna say which one, just so because you could probably look him up. And the way that man laid into my script, you don't know me.
Oh, I gotta hear this after the mic.
You don't know me. This is literally a place for people to learn. I also take note of how black men talk to black women. After an experience I had, and it was incredibly harsh. It was whatever. And I was something about this tells me that you have white friends. And I don't have white friends. I have white friends. I'm just saying I struck a nerve because the way he said something that finally, because at first I was this is really harsh. And I'm a class musician. It's not too much you could say to me. But I thought it was just a little odd given that I'm not at the school that you teach at. I'm not we're just a writing group. It's casual, whatever. There were definitely flaws in my script. I was trying to rush and get a deadline done. And I ended up not even using it because I was there's too many holes. I'm going to put my best foot forward. I used the older thing. Anyway. But I was I've been sitting on this idea for a year and a half. I'm I want to just get it out, see how it goes, see how it lands. And he was starting an all black society. I'm what do you think about that? I think it would be tea. I think it would be. And he was yeah, all black society would be amazing, but there'll also be a lot of problems. And something about that really
problems in every society.
Something about that really rubbed me the wrong way until I was driving home. I'm we live in basically all white society, and it's and I'm like, and there's like that's a little bit of anti-blackness in there because you think inherently that this is going to be all black people. There's going to be like this like whole bunch of, I'm like, white people created racism. Look at their problems. You took out a whole nation of people with smallpox. Like, come, like, and you could always tell that somewhere something went wrong based on the way. Only thing that I'm like confused about is that he continually elects to come into an all black space. But I would too if you got free comments on your stuff.
I was about to say sometimes they be trying to.
Yeah, I feel like it's that. I can't say that here, but we've had these theories about other black men since COVID. And I'm like, I'm never gonna like reject a black person coming into a black space ever. That's not what I'm trying to say, and that's why I don't want to have the conversation in mixed company. But like we've talked about this very thing before.
Oh, I can't. I'm not following yet.
Yeah, it's fine. I will never like if he wants to come. Like it's also not my space. It's not my house. It's not my group. It's not my whatever. I'm just saying like I just took notice. That's why I really couldn't even like take all his notes seriously, even though like he's accomplished, because I know it's coming from a place of like you just hate the idea of the script. Like it is just like very clear. Like out of he called my he basically said like some of my characters were what's the word? Because it was incredibly rude.
Whoa, like a
stereotypical.
He did.
I think when you
that was my guess. Yeah.
When you say your characters are stereotypical, and then you know how I knew he didn't hang around with black people, and that's why I struck a nerve, because one, that's rude. They're not. Two, I'm new to writing or whatever, so I'm not gonna be like I'm so great at it. Clearly not. I'm just saying that like. So you call my writing story. I wrote a character who was a Hotep. I was doing some research on Hoteps, and I wrote him completely to the extreme. Like you got to be like off your Hoteps. Like they vary. There's a spectrum for every archetype or whatever, but you really got to be off your rocker to really think that like the Nile River is actually in America, and there's this edge to the earth. And he was like this character, like he says a lot of truth, like he says a lot of whatever, but there's a lot of truth, and I'm like, there's literally nothing true in what that character says. So that's what you think my characters are stereotypical because you don't hang around black people. Like there's nothing stereotypical about these characters except what, like what? And I'm like, also this doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not saying everything because one, I'm not going to share my idea on the internet, and two, I can't say what I really want to say. But you can always tell, and that's why when I was reading that man's book, I was like, a black woman did you wrong somewhere, and you don't hang out with black people because you wrote black people in this way. Mm-hmm. You made a point to say that boy's mama was ghetto and ratchet and wanted you to quit high school to work at Popeyes.
I was like, that's not even believable. Why would no one would tell you in your last semester you have mere weeks between you and that diploma, and she's telling you to drop out and go work at Popeyes? That's so freaking stupid. Like, nobody's doing that. You ain't been around black people in a long, long time.
And you did all that work to call black people ghetto and stupid, and the nails. And
that was before I had my nails, so don't think I'm just taking it to heart.
No. I don't wear nails, so now wait. I'm taking it to heart too?
Yeah, like the way he wrote, he was like, she was so ghetto with her.
It was incredibly
it was just so like
it was incredibly anti-black.
Like it was very, very anti-black. Yeah, it was just like, okay.
And the reason why I would never forgive that man, I would never forgive that man for writing that book, and I might not forgive your mama, but that's a little dark, is because you had a white lady come up to me after a gig and tell me she's so sorry for what I go through in classical music. I will never forgive you.
Oh my gosh.
If that's the reason that sends me to hell, then so be it. I will never forgive you for writing that book, for your mama having you, and for the ability and activity of your limbs. Because how dare you? How dare you? You took a moment, you could have really highlighted some real stuff that goes on in classical music, and instead you decided to write that monstrosity.
And you could have also just written a good book. I tried to be as tactful as I could, because if you don't know what we're talking about, it was a couple years ago we did book club. You'll find it if you scroll back far enough. the reason why I've tried to be tactful in this situation while also maintaining that this is the worst book I've ever read in my life.
It's the worst book I ever read, and I've read The Grapes of Wrath.
So am I. And the reason why is because since we did it over the course of weeks, like I didn't want it to be every week. Like I was scraping. I can't find a single good thing to say about it. I really don't have one.
When it was over.
Yeah, like that was it. So I was like, I don't want it to keep like reiterating, and I was trying to be tactful. That's why at the end I was like, you could hear me in the episode struggling to find it. I hope that you get better at this. That's the only thing I can hope for you. That's it. Like that's the nicest thing I can say is that I hope that you get better at it.
I also think those episodes are performing well because it just became I tried to hold it in. You lasted longer than me. We just read the book to filth every single week. Yeah. Like it just,
also because it was a Black author, I kind of just like
it's complicated.
I didn't want to do too much on him, but at the same time, why would you do that?
Y'all can't. Everyone can't come with us. You wrote an anti-Black book,
and then what really pissed me off is that everybody was young. Well, everybody's lying to you. Everybody's lying. Nobody wanted to be honest about the book.
It's like, do I even remember correctly? Was it written well?
No, it was written terribly.
I couldn't. Yeah, I'm like, there was so much. It's like it gets to a point where it's like.
That's the thing about. I'm like, it wasn't even a good book. On top of that,
and then I'm like, you wrote a mystery,
and there wasn't no mystery.
We spent half the time talking about how much of a terrible mother he had, how ghetto his mother was. So like you getting called a hard ER in a violin shop, the stuff that literally would never happen. I feel like I don't want to diminish anyone's experience in classical music. Like everyone has a different experience in navigating this space, but it's just like it kind of bastardized the Black experience in classical music because it's just like, yes, it can be terrible, yes, it can be incredibly racist, but it's like it's not getting called I can't say that. It's not getting called the hard ER while trying to get your bridge changed at the local violin shop. But it's just like, and also you could never tell what time period it is. I'm like, is it 1860?
That's what I was gonna say. The reason why, that's what makes it so complicated talking about how racism is like was portrayed in that book is because a lot of times like people hear like what we're talking about and they might be like, well, no, there is racism. That's not what we're saying. It's the way it gave like he was in, like the language did not feel present day.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about being called the N-word. I'm just talking about like the way they were saying it. It gave like 1920s, you're in a juke joint and the white people came by. Like that's
literally what it gave. No exaggeration.
Yeah, like that. So it took you out of the experience because I'm like, that is literally a part of how you craft a story. It has to be realistic to that time. Like it can't be taken too far outside of like the time period and everything that you're doing. Write a fantasy novel if that's what if you want there to be no, I mean there's rules in that too, but you know what I mean. Like it's supposed to be more realistic than that, and they talking about boy and all this like crazy stuff in the way like. And he's like in a major city, it's not like he in the backwoods or somewhere like. I don't know, like it was very strange the way.
It was very strange.
And then nobody wants to be honest about it. I felt like white people were scared to say whatever, which, okay, but the book was not well written. And I remember the moment where, because I finished it early because I was like, I can't take this anymore. I finished it, so I finished it a week early than we were on the recording schedule. And I was like, I remember being like, Katie, can I tell you something that's going to piss you off? And I was like, nothing that we have read by this point has anything to do with what happened to that missing violin. Nothing. When I tell you, after the first 30 pages and until the last, like, maybe 10, none of that matters in the story.
Because now we're in the back bushes of Russia driving through. What are we doing for real?
And the day before you're performing at the Tchaikovsky violin competition, like, this is not even realistic to classical music.
And you could have really spent time like really building. There was, the bones were fine, but it's like everything from the first word into the last one, you just repeatedly dropped. It was so bad. After we recorded that, people will come up to me and be like, yeah, so that book. No, hey, Katie, how's it going? I enjoy your pot. No, because it was very terribly written.
I just saw it the other day and I was in a bookstore. Oh yeah, I was in that bookstore up the street. And I was like, ugh. I was like, why are we doing this still? And that book has really, you know what it did? It really, really tested the limits of my anti-book banning politics.
I'm about to say, because I got a book for you.
Like, you want to ban a book? I got one for you.
Y'all talking about banning The Catcher in the Rye.
Like,
but you know what they should do? What's it called? Y'all want kids to be dumber? I got the perfect book for you. Put it right there on that AP test. It's like you need themes and structure and stuff for that. But if you told me that the main character of that book, Violet and Joe, were all walking on the street at the same time, I would believe you.
I just remember something else that happened in that damn book. Like, we gotta move on.
Wait.
Ray Queese.
Do I hate him? Do I hate him? I don't think I hate him, and I will work on forgiving him.
That's the thing. Like, yeah.
Because I just cannot believe you. You cannot be pro-black. You cannot be comfortable in your blackness, and you cannot have high self-esteem to write a book like that. You can't.
I just really, really hope somebody.
You know what he wrote that white girl, the freaking principal second violin, talking directly to the solo. Nothing about it was believable. And
what made me think about it, I'm like, maybe it's something similar to like how we see things that are unrealistic in like a movie about classical music. But you are the sole author of this book. Not to say I know you have editors, but like you wrote this. But when we used to look at movies about classical music, there's so many non-classical musicians that are involved in that I kind of just chalk it up to the game.
Yeah, sure.
But like, I hold this to a little higher standard because it's like you are the author, and you have more room in a book to build stuff out. So there's really not much I could.
You should be ashamed of yourself. It was terrible from beginning to end. I would never get that 4 weeks of my life back. And you lucky I don't send you a damn invoice. Yuck.
I still don't know what I'm gonna do with mine. It's at my mom's house.
Mine's somewhere in here. In a box.
I feel she was like a curse lingering over there.
Maybe that's why that dog be barking so much upstairs.
Right.
We gotta
some ghost in here or something. Because I've thought about it, I'm like, what do I want to do? Like, I don't want to throw a book in the trash on principle. I don't want to put it in a little free library because I don't want to inflict that on my community. Maybe I'd go to a community I hate. What community do I hate? Like, maybe, but also, it's like, I also don't want to decide. Some people might like the book. I cannot possibly fathom why.
I'd rather hold on to it than make it somebody else, being a reason that somebody else reads it.
Like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, should I decide that for you? Like, you should decide for yourself. But also, I decided for myself when I read the synopsis, I didn't know how bad it was going to be. Should I leave a note? Hey, just so you know, I hated this book, but you might like it. But also, why do you like this?
It? And what if, and then worst case scenario, a book talker with 1.8 million followers does a little free library tour, finds that book, reads it, and tells their nearly 2 million followers how much they love that book.
Yeah. I was just, wow. I've never, yeah.
Bring back real authors.
And I remember after I was like, you know what? Let me write a book.
I was like, that's what made me be like, yeah.
I've also read other books. I'm like, dang.
Well, yes, but between that book and Kennedy Ryan, I'll be all right. Somewhere on that spectrum, and then even Kennedy Ryan's different. You can't really compare her to like she's a romance writer, a contemporary woman. But like from that book to Toni Morrison, you're gonna be left. You're gonna be right. It ain't gonna be
because that's nuts. I'd rather read a book in hieroglyphics.
I read first grade short stories that were better than that.
Ooh, you know what I just saw the other day? Speaking of short stories, there's a short story dispenser at the library where you can press it. You can press fiction, nonfiction, or whatever, and it prints out like a short story.
That's cute
for you, and it has like pictures and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see that. Anyway,
I would never get over my hate for that book. We took 20 minutes to do that, and that's like the best 20 minutes I spent all day. Ooh, yeah.
It's like going to a rage room.
Like, I feel like I need to
That's where I should donate the book.
Yeah. I will. No one will ever read that book again. My copy.
No, yeah. I don't know what I should do with that. Maybe it could be recycled.
I feel like make sure Tyler Perry does not get his hands on that book. He writes. Oh,
I remember us talking about this. We were like, we were saying this.
You said this already?
Yeah, okay. That Tyler Perry would definitely turn that book into a movie. Medea goes to the symphony. Yeah,
because he writes like how Tyler Perry stuff it like.
Yeah.
Oh, church people will love that book. Okay. I know who to give to.
Yep. Okay. Whew.
I feel better. I feel lighter. How you feel?
Got that off my chest. And the thing is, I've gotten it off my chest before, but it keeps coming back onto my chest.
Coming back on my chest.
Every time I think about it, it comes back to my chest. The only person I remember, I would sit up reading reviews of that book, thinking, looking for somebody to be telling the truth. Somebody to tell the truth. The closest one was the New York Times review. The music critics, the New York Times music critics review, because I think they had a book critic maybe review it, and then also a music critic, one of their classical music critics, and that was the only one that I felt like had a semblance of like, yeah, this book is like, what's going on, you know, like that was the only person that even remotely told the truth. Anyway, the news. Breaking news, we hate that book. In other news, the Royal Northern College of Music has appointed a violinist to their popular music department. To be their school's new professor of pop violin. What's that mean? Right. Apparently the person that they've appointed, her name is Andra Vorniku. She has a versatile career that includes orchestral leadership, international touring, studio recording, and theater work. She's been on tours and had recordings, with these must be British people because I don't know a single one of them. Sam Fender, DJ Spoonie, know him? Well, she does. As an orchestral player, she has regular guest appearances with the Manchester Camerata Opera North, Manchester Collective, and a handful of other orchestras. I'm wondering how this is going to develop in terms of curriculum. Like, because I could see this being, I don't know if this would be the best title for it, but I could see this being something that the curriculum is similar to if you did a regular performance degree, but also includes some of the other things that you tend to do. Because it says she's done theater work, studio recordings, international touring, like that. Maybe a regular degree that also includes all the things that you usually learn on the job when you do those things, which I don't know how much of a difference that would really make in your preparedness, because you're gonna learn them on the job.
That's what I'm confused about. It's like there's a lot of people you just kind of know. Everybody don't go into orchestra, so it's like none of the people I know that go into like that Broadway whatever like have a pop. Yeah, it feels like a money grab, just like that concertmaster degree.
Yeah, that concertmaster, that was nuts.
They still got
nuts. I'm sure that was ridiculous. This I could see if it's not. Maybe they should make it like a certificate or something, or like even that. Like, maybe. I don't even
trying to be nice.
I mean, no, because I don't. It has the potential to not be a money grab if it's not significantly more expensive than a regular degree. Sure. Like if it's like the difference between one instrument and the next. Like if it's just a curriculum difference and your undergraduate tuition is what it is, then I could see it. Like if you want more of a focus in non like classical music, then I could see that. I just don't. When I initially saw it, I was like, I know you're not making a whole curriculum out of this. And I don't want it to sound like, the classical music where we look it down on other types of music, but I just mean like, is it necessary?
Especially thousands of people, including the director, have done that kind of work without a degree like that. Yeah. And I just never heard of somebody. I haven't played like extensive, but like I just don't know. I genuinely don't see the point. Like I played a musical. I never was like, dang, if I just had a class on how to teach me how to.
The only thing I could see, being valuable in this list is the studio recording, because there's a big learning curve with studio recording, especially to like, you can of course become a recording artist without this again, but there are definitely some things that they could teach you that would be useful. Like people who, like, I remember my roommate in college had she was getting audio engineering, whatever, like, to know that sort of stuff could give you an edge in your stuff. But
okay, y'all got
and maybe, I mean, they overseas, maybe they got some different, I don't know.
I just feel like also jobs like that you don't really get from auditioning. So I like, it's all word of mouth. So unless that lady gonna be going to around town and being like, here's a list of my graduates.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't, like, it's not like you, what I meant to say is like, you showing your resume that you went to the Royal Conservatory of Music and got your pop license. Like,
pop license. All right, Katie. All right. Okay. Well, anyway.
I'm just saying.
Your pop license. Okay.
It's like, they not gonna be like, oh, she popped up for me. It's not gonna be like, no, like, yeah, bro. You know, like,
especially because now, yeah, I'm more, I gotta see a sample schedule, because even other parts, like, so I think the studio recording will be the most valuable part of that, which you can still do. I did studio recording when I was at Eastman, but also depends on the school you go to, like how robust they are in terms of opportunities to play, like, because I did that in FME, which I don't know why that's the acronym they
FME.
Yeah.
Did I know about that?
Empire Film Music Ensemble, FME.
Oh, they had to change that.
Yeah. I did a recording that was a super long recording. So
I remember that. That's like the little TV film. Not TV, yeah, but it's like, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, not everybody has opportunities like that, but I will say, I wonder, like, yeah, how much of an opportunity are they going to get to apply that? Because, like, so, okay, theater work is on here. Is there some type of partnership with the musical theater that didn't already exist before? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like Eastman, if they added like an opera musician degree, whatever, like many people that are already in the orchestra, they play in the opera pit anyway. I never played in the opera pit, which I did on purpose. I will always schedule evening classes so they can never put me in the pit, because that's how people was getting injuries and stuff. You playing too much, you getting double rotated, all that. But like, maybe if they had it something like for somebody that specifically wants to be in opera, but even I just feel like it's a distinction without a difference. Like, I did, yeah. So, and I just don't see them, how they're going to get that, especially the touring. So you taking them on a tour too? Or maybe they have some type of thing like where you have an internship.
I just don't get the point.
Yeah, like I'm really trying to.
You are really doing a nice job. I'm trying not to be like dismissive, but I genuinely, like, all the stuff is like, you just learn that stuff as you go.
Yeah,
and it's not even like, no, like you got to be on some in crowd. You literally, like,
yeah.
It just seems like predatory a little bit. It's like, oh, if I take this classmate, I'm gonna be with Lady Gaga. It's like, no, you're not. It's gonna be the person who freaking knows Lady Gaga, who knows this person, who knows this person, who knows this person, who'll be like, I need a second violinist tomorrow. Are you available to sub? And you sub, and like, you call, like, come back. And it's like, oh, you know who played down? She played down. Come on through. And then 10 years from now, you're on world tour with whatever artist. Like,
maybe that's also part of it.
And maybe they want to like make that timeline shorter and stuff like that. But you got to fix the industry first before you try to do that. Yeah, that's how it's set up.
And the reason why I'm trying to work it out and see where they're coming from is because I feel like I've also seen people talk about the way that a performance degree is set up now being kind of, I don't want to say predatory, but like, you feeding all these people into this orchestral path, into this path that like very much skews to the orchestral, playing, when damn well there's nowhere near enough jobs. Yeah, people they eventually filter in to other jobs, but I do think that most, like, there are, I would say a vast majority of people come in not looking. Yeah. So maybe this is about introducing those fields earlier.
That I could get behind.
Yeah, but that maybe that's why
I could get behind that, but I feel like the solution is more like I think about like I just played this gig and the other violas, I mean, improvised down. I said, "When you learn to do that?" I'm sitting there, I'm old as hell, all like I got my Stradiac, and he is busting down, like he is playing down boots, and I'm like, golly, like how you gonna do that? Like, and it's like I don't know if he had a natural interest in it. He was like, I'm finna just cultivate this, and I feel like me with improvisation, like I feel like it's never something I was really interested in for real. It's something that like I just wanted to know how to do, but never enough to practice it because I always felt like I was just playing stuff. It never sounded like it didn't sound like what he was doing.
Right.
It just sounded like like stuff, which is why I never. And it's kind of like I remember Loki made a good point about this. It's like when it comes to jazz and stuff, people just want to be like, I could just do it, and it's like, but with classical music, you study for years and years and years. So I understand that like. It has to be some more work, but when I saw that boy, I said, golly, like I don't think you understand. You don't understand how that boy played down. Because Marcus started looking around the room for people to improvise. I said, hey. I'm looking too. I was like, we go big. I'm on the edge of my seat too. Like, and he improvised down. I'm just like, dang, I wish I learned. I took a little improv class. I didn't learn nothing because it's just not in me. I don't know what you want me to say. Like skitty bop bop bop. Like I don't know what you want me to say. And you want me to do it here? Like I don't know. And so I feel like as a am I a working musician? I feel like as a part-time working musician, because I don't play as much as I used to play. I teach anyway. I would say that I feel like the skills, like the actual skills underneath all that fluff would be more useful. Just being out here. Like the improv, not like let's learn the Lion King book. Like I feel like, or whatever that sounds like to me, you know.
I do think also like I had this conversation when I was on that Eastman Action Commission for Racial Justice, and we were talking to, we had of course a lot of curriculum talks, and we were talking about how people. Like we always want to add to curriculum. Let's add a new program. Let's add this. Let's add that. Yeah. But we're not really addressing the issue. Y'all adding a new degree program. Well, what about the one that y'all already offering? What about that? If you want to talk about introducing people to these different areas of the field and cultivating these other skills, you're not evolving the program that you already have. You add in another program. That does this really need to be another program, or should you be teaching all of the people that you are putting into other or people that are in your original program that are going out into the field, should they also be having these skills? It wouldn't hurt them to have it. Yeah. Especially if again you restructured and not add more, because I know, believe me, I've been to music school. I know y'all need time to practice and all that type of stuff. They don't need more credits. No music student needs more credits. Yeah. I promise you. Between the practicing and the rehearsal blocks and the lessons and the studio, like nobody needs more credits. You got to see what can we take out of this, whatever. So maybe that's the answer. But they love it. Let's add.
And I feel like I'm thinking about, like, obviously you had a different undergraduate experience than I do. One, you went to conservatory and I didn't. And two, I was music ed. So I'm thinking, like, I know, like, when I remember you telling me about that conversation about, like, well, we got to do this and we got to do that. But it's like,
that string quartet seminar.
You said what?
When Mr. Taylor ate them up, I can't. They were talking about this because the string quartet seminar, like, we do a week. It's like a week of Haydn or 2 weeks of Mozart and a week of that. Like every week. And then they were like, let's do Underrepresented Composers Week. And it's like, so Haydn gets a whole week. Haydn boring ass gets a whole week.
When I tell you, you do not need a whole week for the same 3 melodies I Haydn. Right? Haydn was on a time crunch. It never gave less. If you want, I could give you, if we gotta, I could give you a week of Mozart, week, 2 weeks or whatever of that, because it's like, them people was writing, people were commissioning, they was sitting. Beethoven was like, I want to write something. They was like, we need this by 5 p.m. on Friday, Haydn. We need a new jig. So he took last week's stuff and he remixed it. Right. Like, you do not need 2 weeks of Haydn.
And listen, I'm not one of those. I've never heard every single Haydn symphony, but you can't tell me by the time he got to 101, he didn't sit there and he was like, I bet you nobody Aurora's 1 up a 7 sound like? And I bet you it's the same thing up a third. Like
Hayden run like 3 keys. I feel like we lost the plot. Hayden is not one of them girls that we gotta really be. I feel like the lore is good. Hayden would have been an amazing producer. He would have put a little beat together or whatever. We missed the plot with him. We don't got a whole week on Hayden is kind of crazy.
And I remember they were like, well, what about the we gotta see what repertoire. And Mrs. Taylor was like, why don't you guys use the repertoire from the black composers that you guys already play? Crickets.
Crickets. When I tell you, when Mrs. Taylor be giving people hell, boy. That's why we took that little sabbatical. I bet you they was like, thank God. Mr. Taylor is something else, man. He's so freaking funny.
Period. Shout out to him.
Mr. Taylor and Lotto got the same energy. Because Lotto got a line. She's like, Lord, forgive me. I'm giving them hell. So Mr. Taylor down because they probably felt stupid. Because that's a stupid thing to say. And also, I promise you, listen, I understand that, like, you go to certain schools for more robust, whatever. But when I tell you, be sitting there, when I tell you, like, it's up to you at a certain point to, like, go out and explore those certain things and stuff like that. Like, I did not take no chamber music seminar structured like that in undergrad, and I was sitting at Eastman right with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like the things that it's like this, it has to be. I understand that that's a fine line to, like, balance, because it's like you going to Juilliard for a reason, you going to whatever, because while y'all were in quartet seminar, I had to take physics because I went to, like, a liberal arts school where I had to take a little bit of everything. But so I understand, like, this is we're having, like, maybe a little bit of an apples and oranges conversation, but I promise you, when it all comes out in the wash, I mean, it all come out in the wash. If you are curious and you like, okay, in music history, I might have studied them Mozart, quartet, but I think I took chamber music for me because I was music ed was optional. Yes, chamber music for me was optional. I think I took it twice. They looked at the group, they looked at the playing abilities, and they was like, y'all playing this. And y'all playing this. So it wasn't even like, and when you work on you work on the quartet for the semester, you meet once a week with the coach, and you get and you meet once a week with the coach, and you find a time to rehearse outside of that, and if you learn as many movements as you can in the semester, and that was it. And it's like, so obviously I know how more quartets go because I was naturally curious, I was whatever, but it's like, if I wasn't curious, I would just know the 2 quartets that I learned. It's like, when you got real time, I understand there's a balance, but it's just like, you don't need all of that. You can really open it up and, like, flesh it out. You make improv mandatory, a pedagogy class, because you will. Mr. Taylor, that's why Mr. Taylor, them studio classes, like, he makes sure everyone has to have something to say. It don't matter how much time is left. It don't matter. Because he was like, everyone in here will teach, but a pedagogy class is not mandatory. And it's like, you will teach. You might hate teaching. I don't know how many people really love the whole, my student hasn't practiced for 8 weeks in a row. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, if you want some bread, especially, you end up teaching for a little bit, want nothing, and you will do it. You simply will. So it's like, but a pedagogy class isn't mandatory. You teaching these kids how to hold a saxophone with their 3 toes.
I'm about to say, that's exactly why I didn't like teaching, because I'm like, some of the stuff especially some of the students I had, I was like, oh, so y'all need corrective stuff. Like, you got to be a real, and I just don't believe in that. Like, I believe that, like, kids, they deserve a good teacher. I wasn't dog shit. I was, like, whatever. I did what I could, but I'm not trained on that. I respect the teaching profession enough to know that, like, I'm not nobody's best teacher.
Girl, them kids at that school, at that program, need a quail and manna from heaven above. Like, it was, that was some.
You mean to tell me you've been playing the bass for 3 years and you think the highest string is an E?
When I tell you, these kids will amaze you with what they don't know. You really gotta stop yourself and be like, what the fuck? Like, you remember when?
When he actually said that?
I'm beefing with him because I definitely texted you, did not text me back.
That, oh my God.
I sent him a video because, like, I feel like, but now the more I think about that, because that little girl was not dumb at all. That girl was very smart. I think it was an active rebellion because I found out her grandma was making her do it.
Yeah.
But You know what stuff my mom has made me do it. I never looked or sounded like that. Not in just regards to viola, just like in general. Your mama make you do something. It's like your mama just gonna make you do it. So, but when I sent him that video,
we're playing. He said, "What the fuck?" That's crazy.
I should have known by then that man was not gonna last in that job.
That was crazy. Wow. Anyway,
you'll find. I'm telling you, you'll hear some stuff. You'll see some things. Stink. It's week 20. It is. Why the violin going up on your left shoulder, on your right shoulder? And sometimes you want to be like, I can't be. I always have to be like, don't say it, Katie. Cause I just be like, look like.
They just be doing stuff. I remember I'd be like, I didn't know you had an open G sharp string. just this full. What are we doing?
And I feel like when I was 9, I was reasonable. All of these notes, you see these natural notes all the time. Here comes a C. It has a special little hat. And you are like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play it how I normally play it. Why? Why are you doing it?
I just don't understand seeing symbols and just being like, that probably doesn't mean anything. I remember I had a friend who she said that when she started playing, she used to think that accidentals were optional. Why would they be optional? But people don't they don't understand. That's another thing. People don't understand. See, this goes back to that whole literacy conversation and why y'all stop teaching phonics and stuff, because they don't be having the building blocks.
Yeah.
They don't have the building blocks for stuff. So they might not even really understand what an accidental does and that it changes the pitch of this note.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, because to me, I'm like, why would it be optional? If it changes the pitch, it changes. But they don't even have, they just thinking, oh, it means I put my fingers in a different place.
And that's why depending on where you teach orchestra can be difficult, or music can be difficult, because I'm really asking somebody who's not reading at grade level to understand a whole nother system.
Yeah. And that's why I remember that one system that person put together, that was ridiculous.
And I'm like, at this point, you're going to just be playing it for them.
Like, and I just feel like, yeah, a lot of people, they just not fluent on the instrument. Like how when my teacher used to make me do the scales with, like, you do this scale, but you can't use this string or whatever. You find that the finger, a lot of people, they just don't know. They know first, A is first finger on the G string. It's like, no, A could also be second finger first, fourth finger, second position on the D string. It could also be this, and this, and that. But it's like, when they don't have the building blocks, and that goes the same with the reading, when y'all took phonics out the stuff, kids, they don't know root words, they don't know how to sound stuff out, they don't know like how to infer the definition of a word, because they're just learning whole words. They're not learning why, like, that
sight words era. I think they done with that now. I think they're going back to phonics.
Yeah,
that sight words was correct. How do they expect you to learn? How you can't, if you just look at dog, cat, rat, mat, if you just look at that and you be like, okay, I know that means dog, whatever, how you gonna look at onomatopoeia? What that look like? We are done for. I'm not trying to be like whatever. We talk about this all the time, but it's just like, and you see it in it's heartbreaking. You see it when a kid don't know how to read for real.
Yeah. I see when they don't know how to read for real. Whew.
Their parents can't read either, so that's another conversation.
Right. That's the thing. Y'all supposed to be helping little Johnny with homework. You need to be right there with him. So anyway, we guess we still got more news.
We are 43 minutes in. You know what it was? It was that
book,
Apt. Well deserved. Don't regret anything. I will talk about him again. I will be on my deathbed. And I'll be like, remember that summer of 2022 when I wasted my time reading that book? I will. Wow.
I meant to say this last week. The Gateways Music Festival has announced their next season. They're doing their fall festival October 13th through 16th in Rochester, New York.
That's at a 585.
With Terrence Blanchard's Film Scores Live. It's gonna be their collaboration with the inaugural, what's it called? Soundtracks Film Festival. They're going to be bringing Terrence Blanchard's iconic film scores to the concert stage. So, you know, he's known for scoring a lot of Spike Lee's films.
I'm about to say, because Terrence Blanchard was in Spike Lee's Katrina documentary. And I was like, this is random. Maybe from New Orleans?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Random to me.
The Gateways Festival Orchestra, they're gonna be playing the scores. The Gateways Chamber Players are gonna be playing Samuel Coleridge Taylor's Nanette. And pianist David Barry is going to be doing a recital. And there's also going to be a showcase of their Young Musicians Institute. Later on in their season, the Gateways Brass Collective is going to be doing performances in Grand Rapids, Orlando, Fort Wayne, Winston-Salem, and Atlanta. They're going to be
somewhere else, sister.
Huh?
Somewhere else.
It's coming up. The nationally syndicated Gateways Radio is coming back. Shout out to Loki. They're also going to be at a conference in San Francisco, the ASTA conference. The American String Teachers Association and the Suzuki Association of the Americas is having a conference in San Francisco. And they're going to be doing some performances there next year, and it's all leading up to their spring 2026 homecoming to Winston-Salem, which is where Gateway started. So it's going to be, a very nice season for them. Shout out to Gateways. I'll link in the description so you can learn more and get your tickets. And last and second to least, because that book was least, the FBI's Los Angeles art crime scene. The FBI's Los Angeles art crime team has put out a call for assistance from the public, requesting that anyone come forward with any information they have about the theft of an Amati violin that occurred in 2020. This is an Amati violin that was made in 1710. Okay, the person who it belonged to, he was an art dealer named Roland Weinstein. He paid $507,436 for this violin in 2013. And despite the fact that he paid $507,436 for it, he left it in his car outside of his home. And it was a Tesla. He said that he never intended to leave it in the car for very long, but
why are you leaving? Okay.
He unknowingly dropped his automatic Tesla key under the driver's seat, so when he got out of the car, it remained unlocked. The crazy thing about it, they stole the car. They have no idea that over $500,000 violin is in that car.
And now you done told them.
And this was stolen in 2020, and they still haven't found it. And so I'm like, they gotta know by now, maybe, if they know. I mean, they probably don't know, like, this is an Amati violin, but, like, I wonder if they got it appraised or something.
So your car got stolen in I have a lot of questions. Your car got stolen in 2020, and they still haven't found it?
Or maybe they found the car and not the violin, because this is from the art crimes thing, so this is just about the violin. And they mentioned the car to explain the circumstances around the violin's disappearance, but I don't know if they recovered the car without the violin.
Oh, well. Now they have a violin that their 14-year-olds probably playing in their local high school orchestra.
A freaking Amati violin. And you're an art dealer.
Why'd you leave it in the car? At home. You're at home.
Yeah, I'm like, he said he was transporting it between two locations. And he said he intended
like what?
To leave it in the car for a short time. He didn't say how short that time was. Like, were you literally running in to get your coat off the hook? Or were you going in to use the bathroom? Or were you like, I'm gonna be home for the next 30 minutes. I'm gonna leave it in the car. Like, I don't know. And I just feel like it's a violin. Like, I don't know.
Oh, well.
That is deserved. Crazy.
It's deserved. I was gonna tell you. I found a Tesla.
Oh, okay. Classically Black new setup coming soon.
Just don't look under the table.
Our $500,000 setup.
My mama gifted me a violin.
Wow.
It's deserved.
I wonder if they're...
Unless it was like, I really got a tinkle, I gotta go inside. Maybe I could see that. Like that, I could see. But you was like, oh, let me go inside and grab me a sandwich. Also, you're an art dealer. It's not your. I mean, it's yours because you paid for it. But like, The only thing I can give him is like, I'm genuinely gonna go inside for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Like, you need to pee right quick.
Because I think I might have done that. I might have been leaving a. Yeah, like if I rarely teach on my viola, but I might have grabbed, when I was in Memphis, I might have reluctantly taught on my viola if I have MSO rehearsal right after, and I used to teach in a suburb of Memphis. And so if I was coming back west and I was like, okay, I have more time than I thought, I'm gonna run aside, let me change, let me grab a quick thing, I might pull into my driveway, leave my viola in there. My viola's already in there. I'm just gonna go inside, grab something to eat, come back out. So that's the only way I can empathize with him, where it's like, and then I'm locking my car and I'm making sure that
it's the combination of that. I know you didn't know you dropped your key, but if I drop my key and I know something valuable in my car, I mean, and also to be fair, everyone, I would everybody.
No,
can
I'm telling
say
you
that,
what I know, what I do.
But also it's like, I don't know, like maybe if it was a combination of I'm about to pee on myself and I drop my key and my bass is in the car and all that, but also it's a violin. But like maybe
like perfect storm type thing.
Yeah, maybe because he didn't know that you dropped your key, but you also, even if you didn't know that you dropped your key, you knew that you didn't lock the car.
And you went in there and lollygagged. So unless it was like trailing behind you, like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to steal this car right now.
That's what I'm confused, because it's like, if you knew you were going to leave it in the car, then you make sure you lock your car. If you don't know, say you don't know that you dropped your key, but you misplaced it or whatever. Okay, well, let me just grab the violin because I don't know if my car is going to be unlocked. That's my thought process.
Yeah, I feel like the very rare time I'm going to leave my viola in the car is going to be something like that. I left my viola in the car here. I'm coming from a gig. Wait, let me think. No, I didn't. Just kidding. I came to drop my viola off. Because I was leaving a gig and I had my French lesson after, and I had more time than I realized. So I was like, great, now I don't have to take my viola to my French lesson. So I dropped my viola off. That's what I did. No, so I can't see, unless it's like I'm running inside to get something to eat and I gotta use the bathroom, I'm in there for 5 minutes. And I lock my car and I'm gonna be like, that's the only thing I can see. Not, oh, I have an hour extra, let me go in and take a nap. Oh, my neighborhood's fine. Oh, I lost my key. Oh, let me go. Oh. And you must got like that. $500K must not be nothing to you.
Rich, hey friend. Yeah, you did the right thing. You did nothing wrong.
What I meant to say was,
you did nothing wrong. Come here. Let's go shopping.
Let's go hug. Yeah, I don't know.
Dang. Well, yeah. He says, I'm responsible for a piece of history, and that piece of history got away from me.
Gone.
It's so fragile. My biggest fear is that someone who doesn't know what they have will put it in the wrong environment and it will get damaged or destroyed. It was in the wrong environment.
Car to fry, you know.
It was in the wrong environment with you. So, no, it wasn't, friend.
You literally in the wrong environment. You left it in the car, in a sweltering car, to.
It went from wrong to wronger.
At least it's probably going inside with the other person. It's probably in better hands.
Yeah, y'all real willy-nilly with stuff. But
if you got so much money to throw around, please, I beg.
Right. Anyway, that's the news.
We keep the intermission short because we already hour in. But I was gonna say, you was only like, when's summer over?
Let me see.
It's mid-September, but it already feels, I think because of our conditioning, it feels like once August is over, it's a wrap. The 18th?
September 22nd.
Oh. But it don't feel like, I feel like once we hit September, it don't feel like summer. No.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I just want to know, we got 2 weeks left. What's your plans? What am I finna do? I'm trying to be outside.
You've been outside.
I mean, like, outside in LA. Like, I'm trying to go to a day party. I'm trying to do something, like, summery. Feel me? Like summer.
Well, in the next 2 weeks, I mean, nothing. I am going to Kenya. But literally, I'm leaving the day after summer ends. So, but it's summer to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be doing summer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But... So my next couple of weeks, I guess, is preparing to do everything that I'm not going to be doing while I'm there. So working.
Oh, right.
I'm trying to get like a couple things out. So
we were just singing "Why Summer Just Become Party All Night."
I mean, we live in LA. It's gonna keep on being summer.
Yeah, that's true. No, nothing changed. I still work during the summer. It's not like it's fine. I'm gonna find me a day party to go to, and I still need to make it to Hollywood Bowl. And
my mom is selling tickets for the Black Movie Night soundtrack. She has extra tickets.
Are you going to that? Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
She asked me that. Last time I went to the Hollywood Bowl, I'm like, it's just too stressful getting out of there. And then we almost died.
Right. I don't love, like, the Hollywood Bowl. It's just like, it's on the hillside. It's a lot going on for that experience. But, like, I do want to go see Romeo and Juliet.
I went to the Ford, too.
The Ford.
Oh, that thing we went to?
Oh, I forgot about that. I was talking about the experience. Like, I ain't trying to be on no Stairmaster to see no concert. Feel me? Like, sometimes about the experience, dog. Like, I ain't trying to be doing all that sweating. Like, the Ford to see what?
It was like this multimedia.
They don't do nothing regular over there.
I mean, it's kind of like.
Oh, that's what it's for.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know how to describe the type of programming the Ford does. Cause like they be having like sometimes it'd be rappers at the Ford. Sometimes it'd be like bands, but sometimes it'd be like this. Actually, had quite a bit of poetry in it, which I didn't realize. But actually, it was fine. It wasn't like open my eyes, close my eyes. I am so confused.
Yo, I forgot.
Or open the door. It's open the door, close the door. I am so confused.
Is that from Insecure?
No, it's from My Wife and Kids.
There's what episode was that? I low-key could be a slam poet. Dalanie, it was good.
I remember the slam poetry from Awkward Black Girl. It was ridiculous. It used to just ridiculous.
Mine was good.
I remember what did you say? I don't actually want to get into it.
No, what did I say? It was good.
So what are you doing?
Yeah. No, it's good. I don't remember what I said. Somebody tell me when I did that. I feel like I was in Rochester. So it had to be really early on. No, it was good.
What are you doing?
Who are we? What are we? But we are. Can we go far? Can we grow? Can we change? Can we stop? Be serious. Can we all the way home? Are we pigs in the microcosm of our faith? No, write that down. That was good. You see what I'm saying? It's like I have a knack for it. I have a knack for it. Let me know if I have a knack for it. Y'all, let me know if I have a knack. You're mad because it was good. Dalanie, come on. Yeah.
I'm not. The thing I went to, it was like a thing. It was like about LA, and it was like different communities like within LA had like their own sections of it and stuff. So like, it was pretty cool. But some stuff I was really worried because poetry. I'm not like 100% against it because there's so many different types of poetry and all that type of stuff. But like, I feel like for me, it's 9 times out of 10 like. Out of every 10 poems, I'm like one of them. You know, like just because sometimes when it gets too far into the artsy fartsy stuff, I'm not. I don't know how I ended up in creative fields because like sometimes I just don't be getting in with that boom boom cack and some stuff. I just be like, I don't believe that y'all really enjoying this or like.
No, definitely like no tea, but like the new music girlies, y'all be dragging it. Like there's no way you're like
the noise music stuff. Like my friend was like, how much of a noise show? And I'm like,
what does that mean? No, genuinely.
Because it's like, and I got to read that book, The Rest is Noise, also because it's about contemporary music. But sometimes, you know, like they're interrogating, what is really music and all this. Like, I don't know. Some of the stuff when it gets too artsy, I'm just like, what are you saying? Like, sometimes they be dragging it a little bit. Sometimes y'all be dragging it. And sometimes with the poetry, like when it just be too dramatic.
Okay, but the microcosm of our faith.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's up for you to interpret.
See, and then they love that. Well, what did you get from it?
Yeah, like I can't tell you, like, feel me?
And they love that. And mind you the one that sat here and was talking about and then you took your shirt off. And that's what it gives to me. It gets me. They will be up there saying the microcosms of our faith. The microcosms of our faith. That's what you did in the video. I literally just watched that video not that long ago when you said it'd be somebody up there doing their thing and then some broad be like this. and then they start chanting the microcosms of our faith. And then somebody come in with a damn djembe and a kazoo. Like, it be too, like, I'm just like, no. The microcosm. And at least that got a little rhythm to it.
Now, what they finna do is they gonna make it say, you say one, it's gonna be the microcosm of our faith. Microcosm! And you have one nigga over there being like, Cosm!
Got the cameras.
Oh my God.
And they go swear up and down that this is the most
beautiful thing you ever heard in your life. And Chai could never. They'll end it like that.
Like,
they'll say Tchaikovsky could never.
I just don't believe y'all. I don't know, man. I don't believe you. Sometimes people do stuff like so much really beautiful, creative things like come out of like people thinking outside the box. Sometimes though, y'all be way the box over here, y'all way down there.
Sometimes y'all need the box. I can't lie.
Like I remember I went down. I mean, sometimes you'd be like, how do y'all think of that? So, there are some things that are like really, really amazing, but it's just like. Maybe that stuff needs to happen for us to get to those other things. Because I went down to the street, that dude, he has a gallery over there, and he was showing me, he paints on glass, but he paints on glass, but when you turn it over, that's the painting. So he's painting like that. It's crazy.
Oh.
He gave me a poster for free. But like, yeah, like he was in there working on the glasses. I'm like, how do you even visualize? That's like when people do those cakes where they put those like jelly cakes and then they like stick it and it has I've seen those online. It's like a gelatin cake and they like stick it and like inject like colored stuff and make a flower or whatever and they flip it over and that's the design.
Like how it's pancake art.
Oh yeah.
I'll be watching what's Serena's husband. I'll be watching him. I follow him for whatever reason. Oh, because he founded Reddit.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, how you do that? But yeah, he be making little pancakes. I'm like, how you?
Yeah, but his is like huge, like paintings and stuff like that.
I mean, Andre 3000's album, even though like it wasn't my favorite thing, like that was artsy fartsy, and I enjoyed parts of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really just depends. Some stuff works, some stuff just don't be working. God,
you know baby.
That is exactly how it would be.
And it's all happening at the same time. All of it's happening, and then you got some girl with her. She rolled around the ground with her shirt off.
Right. Somebody with hooves on, click clacking across the stage. Like it just be random. It just be random.
And it's gonna be some dude over there hula hooping. Like it's really just gonna be what can we do?
And y'all and they swear it's a meaning to it. And I'm just like, I don't think there is. I don't think there is, but yeah.
They'll swear there is though. Anyway, let us know if you wanted to hear the piece we call Cosm.
I actually went to Cosm.
Wait, what?
I went to Cosm.
What is that?
Cosm, Inglewood. The place with the screen that goes around. I thought we talked about going there.
That's not the Intuit Dome?
Mm-mm.
Was it cool?
Yeah, it was cool. The problem is the offerings be like, it don't be stuff that I would really want to see.
Yeah, it's like under the sea.
Well, no, I went to, because I would actually like to see a nature thing there. It's actually better to sit further away from the screen. I didn't realize how far it wraps around you. I went to see some space thing, and it was a double feature. It was space plus like this, what did they call it? I thought it was gonna be an ocean thing, but it actually ended up being some dude who he made liquid on top of a CD, and he was, I don't know what the hell, like it was something like that, and it was fine. They also, I might go see the U.S. Open there because they do sports stuff.
Oh, cool.
Too.
Doesn't that start soon?
Yeah, pretty soon. But yeah, it was alright. Like I feel like certain things would be good in there, but like y'all just don't be singing, y'all don't be showing stuff I want to see.
Yeah.
So, maybe they'll put on Classically Black Presents the Microcosms of Our Faith. Ooh, and we should spell it with a Z.
Oh, it gotta be,
because,
and the C gotta be backwards in microcosm, and the R gotta be upside down.
Oh, in microcosm, just being and maybe we can make the O into a snowman.
Right, and the micro of the cosm gotta be in bigger font.
I was about to say to make it macro.
To show that our issues are actually macro.
And to switch it around and to turn it on its head, to juxtapose the
you gotta juxtapose. And to challenge the idea of individuality. Yeah.
And to show that things are not as they seem.
At all. Yeah, and it can't be sim, it gotta be zim at the end. Yeah. And the Z gotta be, one gotta be pointing like that, and the other Z gotta be pointing like that, to show that if we continue to make things micro, it will draw us further apart.
I need somebody to illustrate this for us and show us what it would look like.
Yeah. And you can't actually see the last letter. There's
it's
no
whatever
M.
you want it to be.
There's no M. Because who are we to determine?
Because the microcosm is the microcosm of our faith, but it's also the microcosm of your faith. And you have to come up with that faith on your own. Just like you have to come up with the last letter on your own.
Microcosm, microcosic.
And is it the microcosmos of your faith? Because maybe the Y is invisible. Maybe it's not our faith.
Maybe it's our faith.
Or is it theirs?
Or is it the faith to come? Because whether you believe today, you might not believe tomorrow. And that's why it's macro.
Deep.
That was beautiful.
Well,
anyway. Jazz.
Speaking of confusion.
Free at last.
We finished Jazz this week.
Barely.
Yeah. I just got it just came to a point. I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry. Like,
I almost brought it with me this past weekend. I was like, no, I want to enjoy myself. It wasn't that bad, but I was like, I feel like working.
Yeah. It will be working. So in this we read the last 2 chapters, and old girl Dorcas, her friend, now she in the mix. She at their house.
I'm telling you, Toni love a little.
We all up in her perspective. Her friend is there. She eating dinner with them. She looking for her dad. Oh no, her mom's not dead. She looking for her mom's ring that she stole. That's buried with Dorcas. I'm just like, so where does? Like, at least what I appreciated was, at least when we got really into her perspective, was that it was like more coherent stuff.
I'm about to say, Toni must have wrote this. She must have wrote it in order. Cause I feel when we got there, it was like regular stuff. It was regular words. It was just.
I bet you the microcosms of our faith in there.
Probably. She could have wrote it, and she could have wrote it just like that. I would have just went right over it. Like,
plow right through it.
Like, my eyes like, Toni. I want to read her earlier stuff. She too seasoned for this.
It might be a minute for her. I think now I'm starting to see what you were saying at the beginning where you said you think it would get you out of your reading slump because like reading something else would be easier. And I think that, yeah, because I'm like, I do want to be reading, but
you need a palate cleanser.
Yeah, like I'm in the middle of normal people right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish that. And I just feel like it would be refreshing to read other things because what I really didn't understand. Now that I'm remembering it, what I really didn't understand though is so what exactly made Violet and Joe come back together and be happy and regular?
And you spent all that time on Golden Gray when we really could have just got to the crooks, Toni. Because I feel like it's up to assumption. I feel like it's one of them things where it's time heals all wounds. Like,
also, your wounds was slashing a dead person in the face. The person that you kissed, so you murdered her and then you slashed her corpse. So like that's not like no regular marriage wounds. Like that's like y'all are nuts. And then they mentioned all the stuff they was doing. They said they was watching people's kids. I'm like, who's sending their kids to be watched by y'all? And then I was like, so what's up with this town? Because everybody just saw all these random combinations of people. You 50, you dating an 18-year-old, and then you kill the 18-year-old, and then your wife is at the 18-year-old's that you killed. Well, your wife goes and she slashes her face, and then now she hanging out with the 18-year-old's auntie, and so now the 18-year-old's friend, she down to your house hanging out with you. I'm like, why nobody got friends in their own area things? Like, why everybody so mixy and weird?
But you know what? What I was gonna say, dang it. At least, to be fair, not whatever, but it seemed like what's her name killed herself. Joe ain't kill her.
Dorcas?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little like whatever, because it's like he technically, if he didn't shoot her.
Yeah, but I also don't believe that her intention was to die.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Like, because also there's no way to guarantee that.
I mean, true, but it's like, I mean, because you 18, you were smart enough to know that, like, maybe I just got shot with a bullet laying down, and everybody around you was like, hey, sister, let's go to the house. And you're like, no, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, it was very strange. Yeah, she got shot in the shoulder, and then she refused to let anybody take her to the hospital or whatever, which I was like, if y'all really want to take her there, y'all could have. And the friend did call the ambulance, and she said she called twice and they didn't come. So it's like, also, it's like she would have been saved. I guess you could say, like, did Joe do it? Did she kill herself by not wanting to go? Did the ambulance people kill her by not showing up? You know, like...
It could get a little, like, reductive that way, but I was just like... And I'm also now, I want to know, like, did he mean to kill her? Was it like a warning shot? Like...
Yeah, so now, I guess it kind of... Yeah, because I guess before I assumed that he meant to kill her, but by hearing that he shot her in the shoulder and only shot her once, he probably didn't.
Maybe that's why he's so sad about it.
Oh, yeah.
But why did you give her a warning shot?
And maybe he didn't. Maybe, did he even mean to hit her? You know, like, those are things. Did he mean to shoot the guy that she was dancing with? There's all kinds of different...
Toni. And Toni dead now, so we can't even ask.
So
maybe that's one of them things. I forgot. I remember this from high school. It's one of them things where it's like you gotta just like.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not too mad about that. Like, I would like to know. That's one of the things I would like to know from the author. Like, I might look up and see if she did a talk back about this book. I'm just curious because it could be one of the things that you have to interpret. But why we gotta interpret so many things, Toni?
I'm more interested in what, like, I mean, I'm not interested enough to go back and read it, but all the parts in the middle that I just kind of was like, okay, let's get over this and go. Like, what you meant by that?
My only thing is, like, I feel like I remember I was talking to Amari about The Bluest Eye, and Toni said something about how, like, it took her 7 years to write The Bluest Eye. So she was like, yeah, you should read my stuff more than once. It's gonna be 7 years to write it. And I was like, I feel like this would do really well on a second or third read. Yeah. It's just that it just doesn't feel fun to do. So that's the only problem. It's just like, like I said last week, I felt kind of bad, but it's just like, it just brought me back to a place of like in high school where I hated reading and I was in AP classes. So we were reading so much like all the time. And it was like, it just felt like work. And I don't want reading to feel that way because I want to feel like relaxed when I read. But maybe if I won't be on a time crunch, like maybe like in a couple months or a year or two, I'll like just read it leisurely and see if I feel any better about it, because I feel like, yeah, I might enjoy it more. I just don't understand, like, authors like Toni, like, you write people, does she want people to read this leisurely? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like romance, like, I feel like you write a book for a reason. Like, you write a book to entertain, you write a book to whatever. Like, I wonder what she wants us to. Does she think it's entertaining, what she wrote? Not saying not in a bad way, because obviously it's. One thing I won't, even though it can be confusing, I will never take away. I feel like it's masterfully written. That's my opinion. I feel like it's just like, I like the way where, like, she definitely captured the jazz thing. It definitely feels scoot out, boop, 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 bop, bam when I'm reading it. I can't lie. But I'm just like, I think it's masterfully written. I just, like, I know that, like, when you read, like, a memoir, they want you to, like, feel for their story. You read a romance, like, you feel like whatever. It's just like, what she want me to feel after I read that? Because I feel like it's just not a leisurely read. I would never read it for leisure. I'm gonna try to do it again, break it up more, but I just, because I don't understand why people read stuff like that. Yeah, because I feel like this is the type of book that I could see, this is why this would be on a curriculum. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like literature to be studied, not to enjoyed.
I also think the whole thing about, like, oh yeah, you should read my stuff more than once. I understand that, and I have reread books and whatever, but I think that the books that you should reread, it should be because reading it again enhances it, not because I was confused the first time. Like that. And there is that, or it should be because I love the story so much. I love the story so much, or it's okay to not catch things the first time around 100%. My mentor actually had told me something like that. I was like, you know what? Yeah, because I've been thinking, I gotta watch this once and I gotta pull it. It's like, no, they be rewinding, they be rereading, all that stuff. It's okay. But I just feel like the amount of, it wasn't because, like, oh, I didn't even notice the way you did that last time. Maybe I'll feel that, or I would hypothetically feel that way if I were to read it again. But, like, it was just so much stuff that just made my head swim, I feel like. And also, like I said, it just wasn't good to read after not reading anything.
I just think, like, I just had a memory pop into my head about Miss Overman, my AP literature teacher, and her copy of we didn't read The Bluest Eye. I did read it with her. I had her sophomore year. But her copy of, I think, Song of Solomon was so incredibly marked up and tabbed. And obviously she's a teacher, but I remember reading Song of Solomon and I being, like, a little confused and, like, whatever. And it's like, she's so masterfully, like, just knows every little thing about the book, every whatever. And it comes from, like, one, she's a teacher, two, was an English major. But three, like, how many times has she read this book? She had to read it. Like, she probably read it, like, several times over the summer. She's been teaching it for years, and then what's coming up, you're gonna read it again because you're gonna teach it. And it's just like, it's like she knows that stuff inside and out. And I'm like, does it get better? But obviously she's doing it for work. I feel like, would you read it for leisure? Like, she knows it so well because, like, she has to teach it to children. And it's like, I want to know a book that well, and that only comes from rereading it. But, like, it was just not really that enjoyable to read. Yeah. Like, I enjoyed parts of it. I kind of like when she starts us in the middle of something and then it kind of becomes clearer as I enjoyed, like, that aspect of it. I found Violet to be incredibly interesting. I just don't know enough about her. And I feel like, I don't know, I want to know more about, like, what happened. Like, I feel like from what we know about you, like, you were perfectly, like, fine, and then you went through menopause and now you stealing babies. Like, I just feel like there's no, like, she's an interesting character. You slashing a girl's face, and I feel like your man cheating on you, like, women get cheated on every day. I feel like your man cheating on you with the 18-year-old, while ridiculous and, like, traumatic, is not enough to slash a corpse's face. Yeah. So what about you made you, I just feel like, and maybe that's through I think I mentioned this, like, a couple weeks ago, like, maybe the books we're reading today or the books that I read would have, like, alluded to why or said why. And maybe I don't read enough books where it's like you have to assume or whatever, but I feel like I'm assuming everything. It's just some stuff I want to know. I feel like she's very interesting, and I feel like the time spent on Golden Gray just to get us to the fact that Wild is Joe's mom. I feel like if that could have been reduced, there's so many things I could have thought about, like that could have been like reduced. I could just know a little bit more about Violet, who I think is incredibly interesting. I think Joe is an interesting character. He's incredibly likable. Everybody loves him. Felice said something really, really nice about how like he actually like looks at you. He doesn't like whatever look through you or look at your ass or whatever. And it's like these are really interesting characters, and I feel like I know nothing about them. I don't know any more about Joe and Violet than I knew at the beginning of the book, saving the fact that Joe Wild is Joe's mom.
And what's her name? Her mom thing was traumatic too. Violet.
What was that again?
She found her at the bottom of that well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I really just don't understand how they all of a sudden now they love each other. Now they talk. Now they whatever. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. And then, also she had that little boy in her head that was also a girl, and she said I killed him. And that's why I'm regular now. Like, how did you do that? Like, what?
She's supposed to be like schizophrenic or something.
And I'm like, and what do you mean you killed him? So now he just gone. That's not how schizophrenia works.
Yeah,
so
that's why I thought that, and I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and then also I was a little kind of like about the whole thing with Felice coming in their life, because I would expect somebody who would have go so far. You were so, oh my gosh, Dorcas, she ruined our stuff. Like, she was so fast, but all that you was blaming her for the whole thing, so much to the point you went to her funeral, you slashed her face. I would think another young thing come parading through your stuff, you would be whatever.
Make sense.
So now you come to dinner with us and stay and sit in the parlor with my husband while I go do somebody's hair. Like that doesn't seem like the reaction of somebody that did what she just did at the beginning of the story. I was expecting when I saw Felice, I said, oh, what's she finna get into? Obviously nothing.
But I'm wondering if that was like, because I feel like maybe it could be one of them things which I know someone like this where it's like, it might be the opposite of like, like some women be like, as long as he know where home is at, like, I wonder if it's the opposite of that. Like he did all that Dorcas stuff behind her back, and she had to find out and like slash his face. Like she found out from that lady that he was renting that room and blah, 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 blah. I wonder if it's like, you know what? Like, at least I know the girl. Like this time, if it happens again, like maybe it could be one of them things where it's just like, and also what I really was gonna say before that was, some people just kind of just accept what it is. Like it is why my man's a cheater. Like,
I mean, I guess that's what we gotta accept with this book. And also, what happened with the auntie? Is she still friends with the auntie? I know that they said she moved eventually, but like we haven't talked about her in many chapters. And you was going over her house every day, and she was fixing your coat and all that type of stuff. How did that relationship turn out?
I think I kind of took that as like she just moved away. Like it was too much for her. She lost her niece. But it's like we got that in the last chapter, and it's been like maybe at least 3 or maybe 4 chapters since we've talked about, since we went to that period where we found out, okay, now she's going over every day. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if that relationship was building towards something. Yeah, also all we got was like, oh yeah, we returned the photo. And maybe that's what did it for Joe to kind of turn the corner. It's just like too much. Like I feel like it kind of gave like a time heals all wounds type of thing for me. It was just like she returned the photo, they do their best to move past it.
That's hell of a wound.
And it's like, what can she do? I mean, it's 19 whatever, like you ain't no bank account, like you can't leave your man. That's not an option. You have no family to go to, and as long as she returned the picture and would start talking to him. Like,
I just really don't understand how it became so happy at the end, and I really just didn't understand how people sending their kids to live with y'all or stay with y'all, be watched by y'all, and how y'all just seem to be so seamlessly reintegrated into society. after you was just laying down in the middle of the street, they was talking about you at the hair salon, you shooting a girl, you stabbing her corpse, you whatever, and now y'all babysitting?
I think it's just enough that she does hair well and Joe's nice. And also, I feel like, not to put my business out there, but my grandma and grandpa used to argue like dogs. But every once in a while, when they had a good little moment, maybe we're just seeing a moment.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because that's kind of, I was like, oh, John and Gloria. Like, they would be arguing, and then they chopping it up about Jamaica in the old days. It's kind of like, I kind of saw it like as like, they're having a good day.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm having a great day too. I'm having a great day too now that
I just wish, like, I understand you're supposed to interpret stuff, but I'm gonna see if she did a talk back. I just want to know more. I just feel like I just want to know more, and maybe some of the paragraphs that my eyes glossed over, it was in there.
Yeah, it has to be buried under all that stuff. I'm okay. My head hurt.
But I'm just like, I was gonna say I don't get why she slashed her face, but like I could see why. In the most, I can't know how, like, watch out. Because it's like she felt so helpless during that whole thing. It's like you want to get your lick back. Charlotte's also what's her name? Violet's also not all the way there. But like I feel like in her brain, one of the Violets in the microcosm of her face was like, yeah, I'm finna get my lick back. She went in and slashed that girl's face. But also, it sort of makes sense because if you see how I didn't even catch the people watching the kids, I didn't even catch that part. They call her violent. Felice called her violent.
That's the thing. It's like, yeah, you're doing hair well. I get that. That's why people still coming to you. They not abandoning your services and all that. But that's totally different from babysitting. And it just it was in a list. It was in a series of things that they explained about just things that they do now. And I was just like, this is all really regular stuff. And just, well, actually, I don't know how long ago it really is in the story, but like, y'all was just calling her violent, and he was losing his job, all this stuff. Okay.
Maybe it's one of them things, you know how like life can get real bad, and you wake up one day and it's like, okay. Maybe it just woke up one day and it was like, fine. And also, like, low-key, when you think about Toni Morrison's writing her subject matter, like, two black people, like, what other choice they have for them for it to be fine?
Yeah.
They just woke up one day and it's like, she got a new bird. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I saw some.
Yeah, and it wasn't talking, and they took it on the roof, and then I was talking.
Okay. I just feel like, I feel like life sucked until it didn't. That's what, and it's like you wake up one day and it's just better.
Yay.
And, you know, Felice hang around with Violet long enough, she might go dig her up and get that ring back.
Right.
I thought that's where it was going. I don't put nothing past Violet. She's like, oh, girl, I can go get your ring. Dig that girl up. Get her ring back. Yikes. And I see why. I think if I thought about it I see why. It's just elaborate. Toni always gonna be elaborate, but I see why Felice went over there for she needed a reason to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Felice is mean talking about. It's kind of funny. It's not funny. When she was like, Dorcas has all the ingredients, but they don't come together good. Like she was like, Dorcas has fair skin, which that's not me. That's not me. That's what it is. But she said she had fair skin, a fat ass, but when you put everything together, she's still ugly. Whoa. Felice sound like a hater.
I mean, she was mad at Dorcas for dying. Yeah. I don't even think she really even believes all that stuff she was saying. And I think also I felt like I took it as this is her interpretation of how Dorcas' life played out. 'Cause she said like guys were into her and then they just stopped being. Like, I feel like that was kind of, like her interpretation of how people saw her. Like, she did have all these things, but the way she was treated and stuff didn't align with somebody who you would think has, who would have all those things. Like, she didn't live that life of this girl that everybody wanted or whatever, even though she had all those components. So I guess they just didn't come together well.
I also, when I was reading it, I also thought genuinely that, like, this girl's just mad. Yeah. Because especially, like, after she got to the end, I think Violet was like, you never really talked about this. Or whoever she was talking to.
Oh, yeah, she said you never cried about her.
Yeah, you never cried about her.
And she said that, like, Joe was the last thing on her mind, and she was like, I was her best friend, but not enough not for best her. Enough. And
I feel like that's why I'm like, I don't even know how about her being like ugly and stuff is even. I can't even know if I can even trust that, because you know how like something happens, like you're just mad about it. You're like, and that's why she was fast and she was ugly and you know them scenes in movies where it's like and you died on me, and then they just break down. That's kind of how like it was played out in my head. Like I don't even know if she really. I mean, obviously, like because she said she killed herself. And I'm like, I don't know if that's really fair, but it's like, this is how she's not a kid. She's probably 18 as well. But like, you're trying to make sense of this really traumatic thing, watching your friend die like that. And I felt bad because when she was like, whatever that girl's name who was hosting the party was like, and she was bleeding out her mattress, she was mad about it. I'm like, I feel like if you don't want to go to, if you don't want to go to the hospital, that's fine. But why you don't want to go to the hospital on my bed?
Damn. I thought you was gonna say the opposite thing. Like,
girl, we going to the hospital. You bleeding out on my bed? How much a bed costs? Why don't you want to go to the hospital? Now you bleeding on my bed. Why am I in it? If it were me, you going to the hospital.
I mean, yeah, but not because of my mattress, but just because I don't want you to die.
It's coming out wrong. What I'm saying is, I don't want you to die, but if you want to die, you're not going to do so on my mattress. Is what I'm trying to say.
When people were saying, oh, she refused, I'm like, okay, she's shot in the shoulder. I would be like, grab her arms and legs and put her in the back of the car. To me.
Like, you're going to the hospital. This girl was like, no, I'm good. And y'all all sat around and be like, okay. That was so odd to me. But yeah, fine. You resign not to go to the hospital. You're not going to do no stupid stuff on my mattress, is what I'm saying. You could do that over there. But I just don't understand. I don't even know if you could really. I just don't understand, which also kind of goes to what makes Dorcas so sad. It's like really a room full of people sat around and said, you were like, I don't want to go to the hospital. And they were all like, fine with that. You know how hated you got to be for people to be like, okay. And acting hated you that much that he was like, yeah, let her bleed out. Then she didn't want to go let her bleed out.
He was mad about his coat.
Some people really just don't have a chance. I mean, she's not real, but it's just like, why? I don't understand why nobody likes you. Oh, Felice liked you, and that's why she was upset by that. Mm-hmm. But did Felice like her?
Yeah, I think so.
Dorcas, I think there was an earlier part where Dorcas talked about how like they had a good time together. I just don't remember exactly what it was. Wow, I don't feel any better about reading this book. I feel like I always feel heavy after reading her stuff. I feel we got one more chance before they never.
I have a list of books, and we'll let people vote last year, so you can't be mad at us for that. And last year wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. I just didn't enjoy it.
I do have a list. I'll keep a list. I think at least one of them is a suggestion from somebody else. But if you have more book club suggestions, send them. classicblackpodcast@gmail.com. DM it to us.
Yep. Ooh, Chile. Well, we move, don't we?
Sure do. Gladly.
Reading it again. Hello?
Well, the microcosm of my faith.
Well, but this is the cosm.
It's so funny because I'm like, dang, we don't even need an episode title because that for sure would have been the title of this episode if this wasn't a book club episode.
The microcosm of my faith. I ate that.
No, you did not.
I did. Are you kidding? That's so good.
You part of the problem.
No, that's so good.
Part of the problem.
What can we do? Anyway, it's time for Black Excellence where we hype you up, gas you up, and give you your props because there's room for everyone at the top. This week, I'm talking about Dr. Jorim. Hope I'm saying that right. So sorry. Reid Sr. He is the director of bands at Morgan State University. I got excited because it is a band season. I was like, oh, JSU just did the merge, so I need to go watch that. Oh wait, is that disrespectful to talk about that band? My bad. Sorry, doctor. Anyway, we move. He's also the assistant professor and the coordinator of instrument and music. He'll be working at he works. This is from 2022. So congratulations on your recent appointment. He's working as a principal conductor of MSU Symphonic Winds, Jazz Ensemble, Jazz Combo, and of course the marching band. He is highly accomplished and regarded as a composer, musician, and has extensive background in leadership, expertise, and a creative approach to instruction, education, recruitment, marching band, ensemble. Am I okay?
Ensemble.
So yeah, shout out to him and what you doing and stuff. He came from Fayetteville State University, so he's no stranger to the HBCU world. He was a piano major at Florida A&M and got his higher education at Florida State University. So yeah, shout out to you, Dr. Reid. And yeah.
Period. My piece of the week is St. Paul's Suite. Remember that?
No.
The string orchestra piece?
I do not like I do not like St. Paul's Suite at all. Like, whoa.
What?
I do not like that piece.
What's wrong? Okay, what's not to like? Let's pull over.
I just don't.
What's not to like?
It just sounds like jig music.
I mean, it's jiggy.
Yeah, and that's not. I don't like it. Like
it's also nostalgic for me. I played it at my first music camp. So,
your first what?
Music camp.
Yeah.
Just shitted on my piece of the week.
I mean, but y'all might like it.
No, I'm not even gonna link it. So
if you like it, I love it.
She gonna leave. What's the? Go ahead.
What's this thing? What now?
But the microcosms of our face was good. But
okay, but y'all that age.
St. Paul Suite can't. Okay.
The microcosm, I like.
You don't like no movements?
I have to re-listen to. Do I want to do that?
I mean, I know if you don't like jiggy, so you're not gonna like that first movement for sure. But then when the green sleeve melody comes in the last movement, you might like some of the inner movements.
I might like the last one because I do like green sleeves.
It's so beautiful. Yeah. The melody's so beautiful.
So like maybe that. I don't. It's Grieg, right? No.
Holst.
See, I don't really like Holst like that.
I mean, I don't really know no whole bunch of Holst. That and the planets, and I don't really know the planets like that.
Like they really go for the planets, and I'll be like, okay. The planets is not that good to me. I like Jupiter.
Oh, I forgot about Jupiter. That's the only one that I could like sing a melody from.
I don't like Mars. I don't like the girls be going up.
I forgot about that. I'm surprised I could recall that melody.
Mars?
No, Jupiter.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not really a huge Holst fan. I mean, to be fair, there's only two things I know.
What else he do besides those two? That's really his. Because the other one,
no, he gotta be.
No, you know who I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Mussorgsky. Pictures at an exhibition. But what else Holst write? He wrote something else. I mean, I'm sure, but
Mussorgsky looked like he got sludge coming through his pipes.
Mussorgsky look
like what you got going on?
Right in on Skid Row. I don't know what he had going on.
And I feel like I really hope that the painter didn't like him.
Because then he said, I want y'all to know that this man came to my studio funky as hell.
No, like No, you know what? Holst is a choral guy, isn't he?
See, I know that he has. Okay, I know this. He did some military band suites because there's a version of St. Paul Suite that is for band. I think that's one of the military band ones. But I don't know anything else by him.
Oh, he has a bunch of operas.
None of this stuff rings a bell.
Oh, he has some ballets.
None of this.
Incidental music.
Besides the planets and oh yeah, why you got so many operas? They must not be good. What is he?
Can't be. He got an intermezzo.
Where is he from?
He's
British.
Oh, he got a symphony for the Cotswolds.
I did not know that he was British.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought he was something else.
Yeah. What? That's so random. I feel like I would have known that. Are they sure? Since when?
But you know what? Shout out to him. Planets put him on the map.
That's what he looked like? I don't know nothing about this dude. Oh yeah, and he's late enough to be photographed. I'm telling you, only thing I know, St. Paul Suite and the planets.
The band girls must really love him.
Yeah, he has some military band stuff.
Oh, he wrote a lot of stuff. Piano. Oh yeah, I knew it. I know him as a choral person. He got a lot of I feel like the majority of stuff is vocal works. Oh yeah, in choral. Yup. That's how I don't really know his works like that. Like literally the whole. There's like 100 works here, if not more.
Oh wow.
Choral. Yeah.
He was doing anything. He got a duo concertant for trombone and organ.
They don't even go together.
You know, when I was at EMF, they did a trio for oboe, viola, and trumpet. I said that's the worst possible combination you could have ever put together.
Could you even hear anything?
I didn't even go because why would I opt into that? Those are 3 instruments. I'm sorry, that have the potential to sound very bad. The like whatever, like there's just something about the tone, like cause viola can be a little nasally, and then trumpet is, and then oboe can also be nasally. Like that sound like cut out that racket. That's what that sounds like.
I feel like depending on the viola, it's a trumpet and the. It's a viola and the oboe that I can't get together, because I feel like viola can be warm next to the trumpet, but it's the oboe and the viola that don't really go together for me. Speaking of interesting combinations, did you see Meg Thee Stallion cook for her man?
Thank you so much. I did.
Thank you so much.
And I did.
Thank you so much.
And I said, and I liked it. And I said, wait.
Thank you.
Unlike.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Classically Black Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Classically Black Podcast. We have a Patreon. Join the Ebony Tower. That's patreon.com/Classically Black Podcast. Join us on social media, and you can see what Megan Thee Stallion cooked for her man.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she must not like him.
Spaghetti and fish is a regular meal.
Mind you, she will fight this tooth and nail. Can't eat neither of them. So what?
Used to be able to, and that's all that matters. And I've made the beef version all the time. Fish and spaghetti, chicken and spaghetti.
I wouldn't even eat chicken and spaghetti together.
Really?
It don't go. I wouldn't eat chicken parmesan. For something about red sauce and chicken don't go together to me.
Really?
They don't go together to me. It feels weird. I don't know. It just feels weird to me to eat them together. But fish and catfish and spaghetti, and then that's too much. And then with the side of bread, you got pasta, you got fried fish, you got your booty hole plugged up.
It's like when you think about spaghetti as a side, it just rearranges that.
And I just don't understand how is this a side and other pastas are not. Because you said that you think of spaghetti specifically as a side. So would you think it was weird if somebody would just order some spaghetti?
No.
So it was both.
I think it's a side and a main. I don't think it's exclusively a side.
And then you think that no other pasta is a side except for spaghetti.
I've had Alfredo as a side.
To what?
Chicken.
But
before I went vegan.
But that don't count because the chicken be on the Alfredo. Was it like a piece of chicken? Like,
I've done in the past. I remember doing a chicken parmesan with Alfredo as the side.
And I also think when I think about chicken parmesan, I don't think of it as the chicken is the main and that. I think of this is the dish because it's the chicken But I guess.
Yeah, I feel like because also like. I just feel like especially like I'm thinking she's from Houston. Even though I didn't know people in Texas did it because Joy argued down Joy's on your side with that. So I didn't know that was a Texas thing. But because like I grew up in Chicago and like the Mississippi to Chicago pipeline, like that is just like a regular thing. Like you having green beans, spaghetti, catfish. That is a regular Sunday meal. Like
Lord's Day too.
And I feel like I've just never met no. That's why black people are in the wrong. I just never met no black people who would disagree with that. With like catfish and spaghetti, chicken and spaghetti. I just never. You and Joy were the first people that were like, wait, what?
Chicken and spaghetti to me feels like a meal. Like you've been eating spaghetti for the week, and that's your leftovers, and you went to the KFC drive-thru on the way home, and that's why you're eating chicken and spaghetti. That's what that gives to me.
It don't even have to be baked. It can be baked chicken. It don't even gotta be fried chicken.
When you went to El Pollo Loco on the way home.
Because sometimes, like, if my mom made spaghetti for dinner, I'd be like, that's all we having? It's just...
See? That's what I said.
But, like, I would eat it because I was freaking 16. But it's like...
I was like, so would you think it's like, what if somebody just had some spaghetti?
I feel like even today, I mean, I'm also not really a big pasta person because I feel like you got to eat too much pasta for it to be filling. So I just don't... The serving side of pastas is not filling to me, so I just like rather not. But...
Not the way I do it. Not the way I do it. I love pasta. Ooh, I'm probably gonna have some tonight.
It's just like I just, I be trying to get myself together. So I just like I just be hungry after I eat a serving size of pasta. But I don't know. I'll eat spaghetti. I'm not a huge pasta person. I can't even say.
But I think pasta is a side, like is a side to pasta, like salad and bread.
All right, with the green beans.
Salad would be the main. I mean, the pasta would be the main, and then the side would be a soup or salad or bread.
And you put a little chicken on the plate. I need to make this meal. I need to get me some vegan wings because I just haven't had it in so long.
And look how you've been flourishing.
Like, yeah, I should get me some vegan. Like I just like catfish and spaghetti to be one of my favorite meals.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us.
When I saw that, I was like, God is big. And to top it off, she had meat in the spaghetti. Because it's a side.
Why would that reinforce it being a side?
Because I remember that was one of the things that you and Joy were saying to me was that, is there meat in the spaghetti? I'm like, yeah. Like, so now y'all got 2 meats?
Yeah.
Yeah. But to be fair, depending on the, like, depending on the
surf and turf.
But think about it like, Christmas dinner, you got 2 meats. You got 3, 4 meats.
But that's a special occasion dinner. And
I feel like some Sundays, depending on the Sunday, like, go to my Jamaican household, there would be 2 meats on the table. Depending.
I just mean like it's like it's not like, oh my God, it's too, but like that just don't make it a.
I just feel like I've been used to seeing 2 meats, so that's why like when y'all were like just meat and spaghetti, I'm like, yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying that makes it not a side. I'm saying there's meat in the spaghetti. Like that makes it. It's not like it's some like pared down spaghetti. Like it's full on spaghetti. It could be a main.
I just like that she put meat in there and was like, and it was still a side. Is my point. Like, because sometimes what my mom would do, because this would be a meal she would make like once a month, and sometimes she would do it. I'd be like, you put no meat in the spaghetti.
Okay.
I don't understand. Like, it can't be nasty. That's another thing. Like, y'all was saying, like, how could it be? All of them are good on their own.
Yeah, sometimes you get on their own and not good together. It just don't go together to me. It just don't go together. It's just weird.
Interesting.
It's like, I don't know, meatloaf and chow mein. Like, you know, like you trying to figure out how that works.
No, I'm trying to figure out, like, is it that extreme? Because I'm biased because it's like, I'm trying to remove my bias because it's just so regular to me, you know. Especially,
and also like I'm just used to eating catfish, okay, fries, hush puppies, something like that.
But if you were eating like catfish at home, like what would your mom make with it? Because not a lot of stuff go with fried catfish.
Yeah, that's the thing. If I'm getting fried catfish, well, first of all, I'll probably get red snapper, but I'll get it from the fish market, and then that's what I would order with it. You know, I'm not big on eating fish.
Like, if you went to a fish market in Chicago, spaghetti would be on the menu. You can get fries, you can get whatever, but if you went to a chicken spot in Chicago, spaghetti don't be on the
menu. My choice would be hush puppies, but
I don't really like hush puppies.
I don't know. I mean, I like hush puppies from a specific fish market. I don't know if how other ones taste, but
anyway, bye y'all.